Hello, everyone. Um, as I always say, uh, I got a lot on my plate to worry about, way more than I should have to. But when I see these things that just bother me, I can't help but still get involved saying things. I've been watching a lot of these talk shows and different things, and this has to do with our children. And from the time I was young till now, the difference between the kids today at young ages and the kids of my year, the respect has changed so dramatically. And I see all these people on these shows and talk shows and everywhere else, yeah, talking about how they're not only their parent, but they're their best friend. Well, let me tell you something about that. I got six boys, three of my own and three stepchildren. They range from 22 to 40. I raised every one of them. My stepkids, I got together with their mother when they were just turning three, and she had a 14-year-old. And then I have three of my own natural born sons. And they range from 35, 30, 38, and 40. And I'll tell you right now, it doesn't matter which one of them it is, any of the six. If we're somewhere and there's public around, we'll say, or kids around, or women around, whatever, and I felt they used a word that was improper to use at that point, or say something wrong in front, like a curse word, or I would say to my 40-year-old, I would say, watch your mouth. There's a woman over there. And oh, I'm sorry, Pop. I didn't see her. And he would just, that would be the automatic response from any one of my children. And I want my kids to be able to come to me and talk to me and ask me for advice and have that friendship relationship. But I never refer to my kids as we're best friends. I'm your father, you're my child, and that rule has to stay there, and that line can never be crossed. They must still remember, as the child, that there's a line you don't cross, and my kids all are well aware of that. And my kids are big monsters, okay? It's not like they're scared of me, okay? I went through open heart surgery. My health is terrible, and what I've been going through is deteriorated my health terribly. So physically, my kids ain't worried about fighting with me. Even though they would never even raise a hand to me. They know better than that one. But I understand everybody says, oh, I wanted to be their best friend. You know what? You're their parent. Be their parent. You can still do everything you want with them, still enjoy spending a lot of time with them. That doesn't, but when you allow it to be, well, we're friends, it just seems to open up doors. And I see some of these kids talk to their parents, and I look at their parents like, you're going to just let that go. You're going to let them talk to you like that, or you're going to let them tell you what they're going, And like I said, I don't have babies. I got adults that have kids and everything, and my kids would never think of speaking back to me. Because if they spoke back to me, they'd be in their teeth. And no, they wouldn't turn around and hit me back. Because if they did that, then I'll put them in the ground. I always told them, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out of this world. Okay? And that's what I was told when I was growing up. And that's the same thing I tell my kids. And we have a great relationship, me and my kids. And our relationship got interrupted and destroyed for a while over what's going on with this company and everything. But because we have such a strong bond as a family, most families would have never recovered from what had happened. There was, just so much harsh things and lines crossed at that point. And I don't mean physically, because like I said, my kids would never think of physically raising a hand to me, because if they did, I'd tell them. I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably lose my mind and really, really hurt you bad. Or, don't ever put your hands on me. And they know it. And thank God we've never had to put that to the test. But I like to think that I'm good friends with my kid, and he can come to me and ask me advice on anything and everything. But there's still that line of respect that they got to keep in mind when they're doing it. I mean, you're not going to sit there and talk to me and just every other word be a curse and be rude and sitting in a restaurant talking and you're talking so loud everybody can hear what you're saying. And, I think for you parents out there that want to be best friends with your kids, should realize they're the kid, you're the parent, be a parent. It's just like I say about the president. You want to be the president, then be presidential. Stop trying to be hip. Okay? I go back to when presidents were presidential. Now it looks like kindergarten, the way they treat each other, talk, and the way this country speaks out and everything. So, again, I don't mind freedom. I'm all for freedom. But freedom means you also still have to have lines that you shouldn't cross. And these kids today just are out of control. They really are. And I have to blame a lot of it on the parents as well as, but I blame it more on the exposure they have, social media, and their, you can raise, I tell this to people all the time, life really teaches you when you lived it. You have to live life, and just because you lived 60 years don't mean you learned anything. But I've lived 10 lifetimes in one lifetime, and I am diverse in so many different things. It's ironic, and we've just stopped being parents and allowed the kids to run rampant. And I don't like what I'm seeing out here. I really don't, and I'm worried this country's headed for such devastation with this. It's pathetic. I saw a thing today on the news. It's from the other day, where a police officer, and as you know, as you can see on my shirt here, as you know, I used to be in law enforcement, and as somebody that is blue through and through and will defend police and for doing their jobs to the hilt. I watched a video of this officer grab a 12-year-old girl in the school, and he was trying to restrain her, and something happened, and he wound up body slamming her to the ground. From what I could see of the video, I'm sorry, but that cop had no right in my eyes to do what he did to that kid. I have to say that being out there today, working in law enforcement, is very, very hard for many cops because, when you dealt with these kids before, going back a little bit, they had their respect. And they challenge police constantly today. And then you see these videos on YouTube where people are telling them, if you get stopped, demand your rights, No, listen to me. And I'm a firm believer of this. If you're a police officer and you're stepping out of the scope of what you're legally allowed, then that badge means nothing at that point. Just because you're a cop don't give you a right to keep doing something wrong without me having to do something to stop it. So, if the girl would have spit in his face or would have tried to kick him in his groin or would have tried to injure him and he spun her around and put her to the ground like that and then cuffed her, hey, you want to spit at a cop? You want to try to hit a cop? You want to do things? Yeah, your ass is going to the ground and you're not going to be happy. I didn't see it happen in that video, but again, I didn't see everything that went on. I just could see what I could see. And from what I saw, he was wrong. He was wrong. If you cannot control a 12-year-old girl, you shouldn't be a cop. I've had to control monstrous men that got records longer than my body and are real true badasses, and had to control them because they didn't want to be arrested. See, I worked with the fugitive unit. So, patrolmen, the difference is with regular cops is that, not everybody they have an encounter with is there going to be a problem or an issue. A lot of people they interact with during the day is merely just standard police work and no big deal. When you're with a warrant unit, a fugitive unit, or serving anything like that, every single person you're going after is getting arrested. There is no doubt they're getting arrested. So a lot of the people the cops deal with they don't have to deal with that. Whereas in my work, every single person I was going after was getting arrested. So of course, we had a lot of people who resisted, tried to run, struggle, whatever. And you know what? I never took it personal. Because my job's to catch you as an officer. Your job as a criminal was to get away from me. So I had many guys run, and I chased them down. And if they stopped and gave up and realized this was just stupid what they were doing or whatever, I didn't run up. I didn't throw them to the ground. I didn't dig my knee in their neck or their back, or I just, when I seen they were giving up and realized that they weren't going to continue, I just arrested them and didn't throw them around or anything. I didn't, because to me it wasn't personal that they tried to run. But now if you ran and you hurt one of us, or you hurt an innocent person during your run, I'm sorry, you're getting your ass stomped a little bit. Okay, but if you surrender and decide that you're going to give up, I just treated them the way they were supposed to be treated, and didn't do anything that they can be upset about. And like I said, I believe that's because to me it wasn't personal. Your job's to stay from getting arrested. My job's to get you arrested. So as long as you didn't hurt somebody or do something to hurt one of us in the process. Once we caught up with you, and I see a lot of cases where guys surrender finally, and because they just realize it's stupid what they're doing, and when these other people see this on TV with all the cop shows and all the stuff, they say, "Yeah, well, that's why I run, because see what they do as soon as they catch you." And I used to have a lot of police officers and federal agents that I worked with, and I would just tell them, I'm not here to make friction. I'm here to just do my job and arrest this person, and I don't take anything personal. Like I said. So that's a whole thing for another time. But these cops out here are frustrated because it used to be just adults who had to deal with this type of stuff. But today, I got out of my car one time because a kid no more than 9 or 10 years old, there was 2 or 3 in the street. It's a small street I'm coming up. It's a side street in Philadelphia, so it's a small street. And 2 of the kids are on their skateboards coming down the middle of the street right at my car. And I'm coming towards them, and I'm thinking, okay, are you just going to stop and get out of the street, or what are you going to do? And I had to stop my car because we were getting closer and closer, and I stopped to see what the hell they were going to do. And they get right up to the front of my car, and the kid kicks a skateboard up and grabs it and puts it up in the air and looks at me like he's going to smack the car with the skateboard. And I open the door and lean. I said, "What do you think you're doing? Which house you live in? Where's your father?" "I don't have to tell you nothing, Fuck you." I was like, oh my God, this kid can't be more than 19 years old. And he has a mouth like a truck. And this is what's going on. These cops today, when they're dealing with these teenagers, they're not acting like teenagers. And cops are getting frustrated that these little son of a bitches can think they can talk and do whatever they want and get away with it just because they're a minor. And, you know, I think when a cop does something and the kid did something to cause it, he shouldn't be in trouble for it. They need to know that, minor or no minor, you're not going to kick me, you're not going to spit in my face, you're not going to do things and get away with it just because you're a kid. And like I said, when I was doing the job and stuff, you didn't have to deal with these teenagers the way you have to now. These kids today aren't kids. These kids at 12 years old know more than I knew at 20. So it's tough for these cops out there today, and sometimes they just lose their cool or get what I used to always refer to as a brain fart. You didn't think for that second, and you did something stupid, and now you're going to pay so heavily for it. Like the cop with the girl in the school slamming her to the ground. I'm sure he's going to wind up in a bunch of shit, and I hate to say it, but more than likely he just, for a second there, lost his temper, and I know you can't. I know you're not supposed to. We all know this. But you don't know what it's like to be out there and have these little son of a bitches talk and act the way they do to you and challenge you. And you have to remember, if he's got that badge on, then you obey the law and you follow directions. Until he's doing something that supersedes his authority, then I feel myself, once you do something wrong, that badge don't mean nothing at that point. You're not a cop to me anymore. You stepped outside the law of the badge, and that allows me to do what I got to do, because you're in my eyes, you're no longer a cop at that point. And so I just wanted to do this because, please, go back to being parents. You could be best friends with your kids without making them best friends or referring to them as best friends. It opens up doors you don't need. I can go out and enjoy spending all the time I want with my kids, but they still know I'm a parent, you're the kid, no matter how old you get, and there is a line with me you don't come across unless you want to get a little bit of my wrath. And like I said, my kids are no sissies. They're some tough son of a bitches, and they won't even raise their voice to me. Not even in an argument. If I'm pissed off about something and tell them, they don't argue back, because like I said, to me, there's a line you just don't cross. So you could be your kid's best friend, but you don't have to refer to it that way. It just makes them feel different and do different things. So, like I said, I got a lot to worry about, but I just can't help. But there's just so many things I would love to talk about. But as we know, no matter who you are and what you talk about, you're not going to get 100% of people to ever believe what you believe, and that's just the way it is. So I'm asking for a lot of help out here from the public on something I'm going through, to listen to what's happening to me, to get help from the American people. So I try not to discuss things, because no matter whether you're right, wrong, and different, you're always going to have a certain amount of people that feel that you're wrong, and I'm not looking to debate with people right now. I'm looking for people's help. But boy, do I have so many things I would love to talk about and try to help get changed and straightened out. I see some fairly simple solutions to a lot of problems that just keep going on. And all right, anyway, just wanted to do a quick video. Guess I was a little bit bored, and like I said, I don't have too many people to talk to anymore. Since this company did what they did, they made me look like I did something wrong, and so people feel if they did that, then I must have did something. And I didn't. I did nothing wrong. But they've tarnished my reputation, and they make people look at me differently, treat me differently, because in their mind, I must have did something wrong, for somebody to do what they did. And that's one of the reasons why I want this story out. I did nothing wrong. Nothing to deserve this. And to have a company retaliate and do what they're doing to me and use that power they have and their money and their legal fee, to just bury me to death, it's wrong. But they've also taken away my credibility and the respect that so many people had for me. I could see the difference in the way they talk and treat me and act with me, and so this company's taken things from me in many, many ways, not just one way. So, but anyway, like I said, I guess I was kind of bored, so I just figured I'd talk about something, but I try not to discuss life or things because all I can do is make other people, because you're never going to get everybody to agree with you. And so for right now, I really want to discuss the help I need from everybody out there. All right, well, anyway, if you listened, I appreciate it, and thank you. And everybody out there, take care of each other, and God bless everybody, and stay safe. Thanks for listening.